Hello, my name is Levi, and this is the Wax Poetic Podcast. Welcome. My guest today is Brooke, and we're going to be talking about
the original motion picture soundtrack to Rent.
Okay. And
I don't feel like you matched my level of excitement there, but I'm okay with it. I'm used to it. So.
Well, that's fine. We'll all match energies in a minute.
Okay, good.
And also, Becca is back.
Hey everyone, I'm very excited because Rent is my jam.
So good.
And along with Becca there is Carl. He's going to be letting us know his 2 cents as well.
My bird.
Could you train Carl to sing from Rent? Because that would make my life. So
yeah,
I know he does Queen, right?
He knows Queen. I can't whistle, so it's whatever my mom whistles.
He just
he'll pick it up pretty quickly.
That's so cool.
But he is stuck on Another One Bites the Dust. Like he won't stop. Like we get it, Carl. Know the song. Yeah, let it go. Move on. New song. So.
All right, Brooke. When was the first time you heard this album?
So when I think I was like 14 or 15 when it came out, when the movie came out. And I was like in this real period where my friends and I were just going to the movies like 2 or 3 times a week. And we went to this one. And I guess I liked music. Yeah, no, I definitely liked musicals before Rent. What am I saying? I was like, I watched like The Sound of Music when I was like 7, like nonstop. So yeah, I don't know what I'm saying. I liked musicals, but I think this was the first one that was like super, I mean, it's not really when you think about it, but for me at 15 at the time, it was like edgy. And I was like, oh, I'm coming into me right now. And it really just hits all of the targets. Saw it at Quail Springs, Becca. Oklahoma shout out.
I don't know where it's at, but whoop whoop.
All right. She shoots and she doesn't score, but
I was born in Oklahoma, didn't grow up.
Fair enough.
So your first exposure was the movie, I guess?
Yeah, 100. I don't think I even knew about it at all before the movie came out. I did my due diligence after and like researched the actual musical, found out about Jonathan Larson. Then I think I tried to listen to the like musical soundtrack and I was like, I'm good. I like the movie one better, so we're gonna stick with that.
Well, whenever you told me this was the album you wanted to do, I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I've heard that one before. And then once I started listening to it, I was like, no, I have never heard this before. So whatever musical I heard like many years ago that I've always thought was Rent is not Rent. I have no idea what I heard then.
Yeah, what is it?
I would love to know.
Yeah.
I would love to know too, but it's like they're singing and then suddenly somebody just starts throwing out a bunch of words really fast, like, and they start singing some more and then they stop and then somebody just spits out a whole lot of words like
a musical. It's like a definition of a musical. Is it like the British Rent? I wonder if that's a thing.
No, he's not singing the words. The all the part with all the words really fast, he's not singing it. It's just some guy just like yelling out a whole
words,
a whole bunch of lines about whatever.
Well, I'm gonna be on the lookout for that. I do love musicals, so I'm like, that's the one, Levi. But I also just want to assume that like any musical you heard or saw, you were like Rent.
Yeah, it's like, oh, it was Rent.
I loved Rent.
I just imagine like Levi's like mom being like, let's go to this really cool musical in town. It's called Rent. It's just like the choir, like the church choir.
Christmas program.
Oh man, yeah, I've seen like high school productions of West Side Story. Oh, that one was ridiculous. I remember this really old lady sitting next to me just laughing her ass off like at the stabbing scene at the end.
Oh, no.
Like, you're not supposed to be laughing at that part, but she found it hilarious.
This is great.
So have you ever seen this live or just from the movie?
No, I've only seen the movie. I have not gotten the chance to see a lot of musicals live. I mean, I have had the chance probably, but growing up in Oklahoma, like there just was not a lot going on. There wasn't a lot of musicals coming through or like artists at all. It's changed now, but I did get to, I was a huge Chicago fan prior to this. Oh my God, what am I talking about? Why am I going to be like, I didn't really like musicals before Rent. Oh wait,
Let me tell you about them all. Yeah.
Except for this one. So I did get to see, I think this was probably the only like real musical that I saw. It was at the Civic Center in Oklahoma City, and it was Chicago. And Tiffany, like the
80s
pop
singer.
star, was Vel McKelly. And so I felt like that's the closest I've gotten to fame. Like I saw her walk through an intermission, and I'm like, oh my God, we're on Broadway right now, basically. So that's the only musical I've really seen. So no, I haven't seen a Rent, and I wonder. Well, I saw the live one. Did you guys see that? Like the horrible
The Fox
ABC,
one?
or was it Fox? Yeah.
No, I'm going to though. I put on the Broadway recording of it. That's what I found first, but I didn't understand the story. I didn't understand what was going on.
Oh,
They're not really
okay.
clear in it, so I was like, well, I guess I'm gonna have to watch the movie. So I watched the movie, and it cleared
Everything
all of it
up.
up. But yeah, but I did see that Fox did it like a year or two ago.
Yeah,
So
wasn't great. And
What did do it? I never saw that.
it was like the guy playing Roger broke his leg like right before, so they did like a dress rehearsal or something in place of like an actual live. It was bad.
Interesting.
So they just replayed what they recorded earlier.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I think so. Well, I don't know, because he had like a massive boot on for some of it from where he had broken his leg. So I don't know. I'm sure it would have been great if he hadn't broken his leg, but it was disappointing to say the least.
Yeah, they tried to do that Grease live. Do you remember on Fox as well? I was like, dude, it's not.
Wasn't good?
No. I don't know what it is. It's just not the same. You know what I'm saying? Like something about seeing it live in person and then just not as fun.
Yeah.
The only one I watched was the Peter Pan one.
A musical?
Right? Was it Peter Pan? Yeah, I think it was Peter Pan. Yeah, it was all right. I don't know.
Meh.
I think it was one of the first ones that they did.
Okay.
It was one of the earlier ones.
They also did Jesus Christ Superstar with John Legend. Did y'all see that?
Mm-mm.
Okay, it was actually really good. It was too, and maybe this is part of it. I'd never seen that musical or anything about it really before, and I kind of had no idea what was going on. So,
but it was really good.
But it was. I was confused the whole time, but it was a great ride. So, but maybe that's like, I mean, yeah, it is just kind of weird to watch musicals like on stage, but filmed. So we should stop doing it. Fox, stop.
Yeah, cut it out.
Okay.
Maybe during a pandemic that would make sense. You know what I'm saying? We didn't need that.
You guys weren't ahead of your time, but
yeah.
This whole musical takes place, I guess, within a year from like Christmas to Christmas, I guess. So how has your year gone, Brooke?
It's fine. Like, I guess it's fine for a global pandemic. Are we talking like it's literally like this time last year? Like a literal year? Is that what you mean?
A literal year. Yeah.
What were you doing this day 1 year ago?
1 year ago. I feel like this was when we were all supposed to be, it was around this time anyway, when we were all supposed to be going on our trip, on our improv trip. And then the world started ending. And I literally, at this time last year, I was like, yeah, COVID, like I'll get a couple disposable masks. Like it won't be a big deal. A couple weeks with
I think
masks.
everybody thought that. Yeah. It's like, we'll be good by August, maybe.
We'll be fine. And then now maybe I have it. So.
Oh, right now?
Yeah, I don't feel great.
Oh. Brooke, go get a test.
I'm getting one tomorrow. So
that's good.
Yeah. I've just been like asleep for a week basically at this point. Feel like something's going on, but we'll find out for sure tomorrow. But my year has been good. It's just been like lockdown and weird and figuring all of that out.
Yeah, it almost feels like the year didn't happen somehow because I think it has been a year since I've seen either of you two.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't think about that. Like in person, yeah.
Yeah, in reality.
Yeah.
Yeah, which
This
is
whole
not
year has just been
the
non-existent.
yeah.
Did we exist for the past year? I don't know.
The bear shits in a woods. Is that the no, it's something about a tree. I don't know. But so like socially my year's been bad, but I have like career or like professional wise, it's been a decent year. It's not all bad, you know. I've got that going for me, which is nice. I'm trying to decide, well, obviously I would measure it in love, but I'm trying to decide how I would measure
Aw,
this last year
I
I
from
see what you did there.
like it. I like the connection.
it would be probably just like a lot of Schitt's Creek. I would measure it in Schitt's Creek episode.
How many rewatches you did of it? Okay.
Exactly. Yeah. It's a lot. How would you guys measure your year besides with love, obviously?
Like I
I
said,
mean,
it almost feels like it didn't exist.
mine just feels like every day is Grey's Anatomy.
Okay.
It's all I watch every day. So I feel like I've done a lot of things. I'm a doctor now, you know? I'm
So-
saving lives. I'm in
Learning
love.
skills, yeah.
Yeah. So a lot of things are happening for me personally.
Okay. I love
And my
that.
Grey's Anatomy fantasy that I'm living. So that's how I'd measure my year. Is just being a doctor. Pretty rough. I'd say it's more emotionally exhausting than my personal life. Like every episode, I'm like screaming. You know, my
Screaming at the
roommates used
screen.
to knock on my door. Like one time, he's like, "Are you okay?" Like he thought I was being murdered. I was like, "One, step out of my room." Two,
It's just an intense episode. Yeah.
I'm not okay. My heart is broken.
Did you see this shit?
Yeah. Rewind.
You said you saw this with friends like back then.
15 years
And
ago.
I know probably the story of this whole rant is kind of about a group of friends that are pretty tight, and then everyone kind of scatters and drifts apart, and then all that year later stuff. Like, are you still friends with all those people that you kind of ran with in
I don't think I'm
2005?
friends. I don't think I'm friends with a single one of them, actually.
Really?
Oh.
Like that's
I'm
a big
cold-hearted
moment to
bitch,
go.
so. There's one who was like, she was like my best friend at the time. And of those people, she's the only one that I'm like still in contact with, really. But yeah, the rest of them, I think I'm friends with like a couple of them on Facebook, but like a lot of them didn't do Facebook. And then like they're all still in Oklahoma. There was one of the guys, his name is Jeff, and he had blue hair at the time. And he was very tall. He was a lot of fun. I was at, this was probably like,
He was tall and a lot of fun.
and a lot of fun.
All right. All right. We'll
Those
just leave
are
it
the
at that.
perfect
All right.
guys.
Blue hair, tall, a lot of fun.
A lot of fun.
Cool. I get you.
So I think it was like Christmas or something. Yeah, like 3 or 4 years ago. I hadn't spoken to him in maybe 10 years. No, maybe like 8 years. And I drove to Oklahoma for Christmas, pulled into my mom's apartment like alleyway. The way it was set up, like I would park in the alley and her apartment was like around the back up, and there was an apartment down below her. So it's like really late. It's like midnight or 1 a.m. I'm like unpacking all my stuff, getting Maggie upstairs, and somebody comes out to smoke, and like it's that guy from the downstairs apartment.
Oh.
But like it was one of those where it had been too long, and we were so young when we were friends that I was not comfortable being like, hey, remember that time we went to see Brent together? Hey. I'm not 14 anymore. How are you? So I just looked at him dead in the face, and it was one of those where it was like we both knew something was going on, but it was like I didn't know if he knew, he didn't know if I knew, and then I just never spoke to him again.
Whoa. Could have been the love of your life, Brooke.
I don't think so.
Mhm.
Maybe. He was
Nope.
a lot of
Okay.
fun.
It was a lot of fun.
No, we'll never know. So
There's always summertime. You can go home.
Summertime Feeling. That's a different musical. That's Grease.
Oh, true. Summer loving happens so fast. You should have a whole musical episode.
I'm here for it. But it's where we just sing musicals. Okay.
Yeah, we don't even talk. No rehearsing either, just straight.
It's weird. It is weird that I'm so attracted to musicals because like I'm tone deaf. Like I can't name a ton, like I don't know notes. I'm like, what?
You just know what sounds good. You're like, that's a good note.
I love that note. Whatever it is. I'll never be able to match it personally, but I do love it. And I'm just gonna scream sing over here and I hope everybody's fine with that.
So do you have friends now that you're like set on keeping forever? Is that a thing? I don't know. I don't know how friends work.
Well, you guys are
keeping this one forever. I don't know.
No, like no matter how much we don't talk in between the times we talk, like I'm just gonna wrangle you back up every now and then. And there's nowhere else you can go. So you'll be trapped. I do have friends that have you guys have met Allison, right? My roommate.
Your roommate?
Yeah, that I own the house with. I feel like we're in it. We're in it for the long haul. We own a house together at this point. We've lived together for 8 years. So but who knows? In like 10 years, we could do another podcast. I'll be like, wow, I don't talk to Allison anymore.
You put a line in the middle of the house, and that's her side. This is my side.
Yeah. We still live together, but I don't speak to her.
Doing a full sitcom. Yeah. This is her side of the sink. This is my side.
I don't spit even in her side. It's not acceptable. Not acceptable.
So do you have a favorite song? There's a lot of songs on this album. Is there a favorite song of yours?
Well, it's like a favorite chunk of songs. So La Vie Boheme, followed by the little interlude. I forget what they call it, but the like baggage one. You know what I'm talking about?
Where Mimi and Roger go out?
Yeah.
And they're having their drama.
Break.
Oh.
And then that goes right into La Vie Boheme B. And so that's a favorite chunk of mine when I'm listening. That gets sort of put on replay quite a bit. And then also all of them. But Light My Candle. I mean, that's what it's called, but love it.
It is called Light My Candle, yeah. What you forget?
I really like that one too.
So good. Gotta like.
I know you're shivering. That's how I wanted, like, as a kid, when I watched it, I was like, this is the love story I want. And little did I know they're drug addicts. So I don't know if I want that particular love story. Definitely wanted to become a stripper after the movie.
100%. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, when I listened to this the first time, I listened to just the music, and I was like, I didn't get it all because it sounded like two crazy people in a room talking candy wrapper. I'm like, what the hell is going on? It did not make any sense.
Wait, Levi. So wait, did you listen to the soundtrack and then you watched the movie?
Yeah, I thought it would be like Hamilton. Hamilton is very specific. They're like, that guy Hamilton is just doing a lot of shit to me, so I'm gonna write a letter to him, and here's everything in the letter, and then that's the song. You know, there's not a whole lot of action,
right?
But this one is all over the place, and I feel like I didn't understand Angel. I mean, I understood Angel, but I didn't. Angel is paid to murder a dog. Mm-hmm. And she was talking about like the lady paid her to play her beat, so I was like, she just have her music up really loud and it scares the dog or what? And it wasn't until I watched the movie that I understood, oh, she's playing on a bucket on the street and collecting tips. Okay. But yeah, that's the sort of thing that you kind of have to see this one to fully appreciate it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. I will say, y'all know how I'm like pretty obsessed with RuPaul's Drag Race and drag queens in general.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. I will say Angel was like probably my first introduction into like gender morphing, and my first like real probably like this is a thing sort of introduction, and I remember being like fascinated by it, like just didn't really understand it fully, was scared to ask about it, I think, and but obsessed with it at the same time. And then 15 years later, and my life is based around drag queens, so it all adds up.
I mean, a lot has changed in that 15 years. I mean, not a lot has happened, a lot hasn't happened. A lot has happened socially
Yeah.
in that 15 years. So even at 2005, it still isn't like it is now.
Right.
RuPaul's Drag Race didn't happen for quite a few years later.
Yeah, exactly.
Even
and
then, it was
like, oh, and in Oklahoma too.
Right. Yeah. Small towns.
oh yeah.
Like, even a few years ago, I was with like family in Portland, and I mean, this was just like 2 years ago, and they're all still Oklahomans. And we were in a grocery store, and this guy walked by, and he had like long hair, and he kind of looked like a rock guy, like a punk rock guy, and he had like sort of a longish like black skirt on, and maybe like tights or something, and like big old combat boots. But it was nothing that was like to me, it wasn't even like a gender thing. Like he wasn't doing any sort of like, oh, I'm a man, but I'm in. It wasn't like women's clothing. It was just like it was just like a man's skirt.
Mm-hmm.
And the family that I was with were like, oh my God, did you see that? Like freaking out. And I was like, wow, you should not come to Austin and like go to 4th Street with me. You would die. But, and that was like I think it was like 2018, 2019, somewhere in there. So some of them are a little behind.
I grew up in a small town too. And I remember actually where I heard this. Okay. Well, my sister had a friend. He was gay. And I remember like before I came to Austin, we came up to Austin with my sister and her friend, and he put this on. He put a musical on. I thought it was Rent. This is where I heard it.
Okay.
So I've always thought, okay, we were listening. He put Rent on in the car while we were driving, and so that's what I always. But in any case, this friend of hers, they were really close, and I remember one day my dad was talking when my sister got married. My dad was like, "Oh, I always thought she was going to end up with, her friend, that guy." And my mom's like, "No, he had other options." It's like my dad didn't even like cue in on it that he was gay. It was just,
yeah.
That's just the mentality in the small town was just like, "Oh,
it's not a thing." Yeah.
I don't see gay people, but it doesn't exist.
Right. Yeah. So true. Yeah, it's definitely not talked about, and not in Oklahoma in 2000 to 2005.
So, and probably still now, I guess.
A little bit, yeah, I'm sure. Have you guys seen Romeo and Juliet, the Baz Luhrmann Leo version?
The Leo DiCaprio, yeah.
Oh, yeah, Leonardo.
And the guy that plays Mercutio, he goes to the party, like the Capulets party at the beginning, and he's dressed in drag, and he's got like the tiniest little like silver skirt.
John Leguizamo.
No, he's the guy that's in I forget his like, it's like Harold. No, he's the guy, he's in Lost. He plays the guy who loses his son in Lost.
Oh, Harold Perrineau or whatever.
Yeah, that guy. That was another one that I was pretty young and like didn't. I remember I sort of felt, it's a very small scene, and I would go back and rewind it, and I was probably like 7 or 8. And I remember thinking like, oh, I'm bad for liking this. Like, I shouldn't tell anybody that I like this. But just being like so mesmerized by like that one part where he's literally like lip syncing in drag. And I'm like, this is the best thing that's ever happened to me. And everyone in Oklahoma is like, what's wrong with her? I'm like, shh, don't worry about it. Okay, I found the picture.
Speaking of small towns or places, the song Santa Fe is just so weird to me because he's singing about he wants to move to Santa Fe.
Number one.
Maybe I don't understand what Santa Fe is, but I don't understand why somebody their dream is to move to Santa Fe.
I've never been, but I've actually heard it's pretty cool. Has anybody else heard that? Just me?
Only from Tom Collins.
Yeah, is your only
He's really intent that it was a good place. Yeah. Do you have a dream place that you would love to live?
A dream place. Yeah, probably like, well, I would say for a long time it was like Costa Rica. That's probably changing a little
Oh,
bit.
you
But
saw
for me,
Jurassic Park and
yes, just like actually I have a friend from back home who her husband's from Costa Rica and they met here. They met in Oklahoma, but now they live in Costa Rica and have a daughter and they like live on the beach and she puts it on Instagram. It looks amazing. But also, I mean, I think I kind of thought for most of my 20s that's where I'd want to live. But I'm like, my hair it would take a long time to fix my hair in the morning. And like, like, is there places to go if you live on the beach? Like, do you have to go a really long way to get groceries? Because like, I don't want to do that. I'm not going to do that if that's the case.
important questions to ask. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you think that were they asking that about Santa Fe? I don't think so. They were just like, this is going to be amazing.
No, he was just like, I'm gonna open a restaurant, and
Which
it's
is
gonna be
bad.
cool.
It's a bad idea. You should never.
Yeah, it does not sound well thought out to me.
He was a professor, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, I can cook.
Because he got beat up and then he came back inside, and that's what he was talking about, Santa Fe, right?
They're on the subway. Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
And it's him and
They're all
Angel.
going out somewhere.
Yeah. And I forget who else.
And then after that, him and Angel have a song
Santa Fe
together.
Yeah. What is that one? I'll
cover you.
I'll cover you. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Also a good one.
Yeah.
I wish I had I don't think I have a dream place anymore. I just like a lot.
You're living in your dream place.
Yeah. Also Austin. I do like Austin a lot. So,
I like it too.
yeah, it's a good spot.
Guys, I figured out why he wanted to go to Santa Fe.
Why is it?
Because it was technically called the Promised Land and still is, because it was open to the LGBTQ community back in the 90s. Because everyone back then was so afraid, with the AIDS and everything, that like they were like afraid of gay people, So Santa Fe was the promised land for that community to go to feel safe.
Well, I love that.
That makes sense. I mean, did he know it was the desert?
I think he knew it was the promised land. I don't know.
Okay.
We'll figure it out.
I don't know. Moving to the desert just sounds weird to me. I don't get it.
Well, it's got nice people there. Take me there any day.
It's true.
Oh yeah, and
they're
hopefully a good
okay
restaurant.
with you. Then.
Hey, it's me. I'm interrupting the show for a moment to ask that if you have been listening and enjoy what's going on, to leave a rating on Apple Podcasts or even just share an episode on social media. Any ratings and mentions are greatly appreciated. The podcast has been steadily growing, and I've been having a lot of fun interviewing people and hearing what they have to say about music and everything. So seeing that there are people that are into the show just makes it so much easier and enjoyable to put all the work of researching, recording, and editing into it. I'm going to put all the links to all this in the show notes just to make it easier on you. Okay, now back to it.
I do want to know what you both think about Over the Moon.
I did want to talk about that one. Yes.
Yeah.
When I first heard it, I didn't know what was going on with it because, like I said, I wasn't understanding the story. And when that came on, I was like, this sounds like some kind of really pretentious performance piece. So I figured it made sense within the story, and it did when I watched the movie.
Yeah, nailed it. Literally nailed it.
Oh, it seemed like a fun part. Like if you saw this live, I feel like that's a very fun part where they probably have the audience moo.
Yes, it is. It's interactive live. So, which I would love to see it live because I feel like it's kind of weird in the movie because it's not interactive. You're just like, okay. Okay, I'm not convinced at all. But
I loved it because she's just acting so weird up there, and I am so weird. So I was like, oh, this is like you can get up on stage and do this.
This crazy.
And people will back you up.
Yeah, exactly, right? They're just like, okay, everybody just roll with it.
Yeah.
That's great.
Becca, when's your next protest piece? Because I would love to be.
I've been writing it. I'm gonna do it in Chicago, being like the subway on a cold night. Yeah.
flying in?
I'll let you know.
Okay.
I'll give you a 2 weeks notice. Because
Okay.
I want it to be like spontaneous, but like still like kind of planned.
Perfect.
So
That gives me like plenty of time in Chicago. I can hang out. I'm here for it.
yeah, you can stay at my place.
Okay.
Make that happen.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
Okay. Well, the song Tango Marine, I did want to talk about that one too.
Okay. I also really love that one. So
It's like two exes meeting up and having to work together. Have you ever been in a situation where you're having to deal with a significant other's ex?
It would be like, yeah, you would have, yeah, because that's her current girlfriend with her ex-boyfriend. Yeah.
yeah.
That's difficult.
Yeah.
That is difficult. I'm trying to like, I'm sure I have, but I've also worked in the hospitality industry. So I've had to work with, at the same time, multiple people that I've in the past. So
okay. Gotta
like not my
keep
current
them separated
ex,
a
but
little bit.
like yeah. I only dated like one guy throughout like late teens to mid 20s. That's a whole nother podcast. But and he wouldn't so we would go to like football games and whatever, and he went to OSU. Shout out Becca. So when we would go to his games, like I was just sort of like on his whatever, his watch, like I didn't know what was going on really. And he would there was like 3 or 4 times where he was like, oh God, that's my ex. And I'd be like, which one? Like, which one is it? Or like 10 minutes would go by and he'd be like, yeah, we passed my ex like 10 minutes ago. And he would never tell me which.
That's probably the best way to play it.
Yeah.
Just
but at that point, like maybe just
or not bring it up at all.
Don't bring it up at all.
Yeah. Just
10 minutes later, I'm like, well, damn it. I want to see.
no.
But when
well, maybe not bringing it up might be the worst thing to do, because then if there's like somebody gives you a weird look or something,
right,
or gives like her a weird look, and then she's like, who is that? Why who's that girl that just gave me this shit look?
the crazy
then you got to explain it.
Yeah,
so it might be best to head it off. And
yeah, it was weird.
It's funny because I feel like I've honestly lived out the whole dance routine kind of situation. Like I've ran into an ex at like I took a current boyfriend to a swinging hall, like a swing dance, and my ex was there, and so it was like we were having dance offs, like so like old 1920s music, just like like a live trumpet, just and so I feel like I've kind of lived it out a little bit, and I don't recommend it. You're never having a good time. No, it's so uncomfortable.
It sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah. All that was missing was like me singing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I wish you would have.
They wouldn't let me. The band was like, we don't know you. Can you go away? I was like, all right.
You were like,
get off the stage.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
You're embarrassing yourself. My ex was like, glad I dumped her. And I was like, who?
Okay, Brooke, we're going to play a quick game here.
Okay.
This is called Lyric or Just My Diary.
Ooh, okay.
Which Becca named.
I love it.
I'm going to read some words to you, and you got to tell me if it's real lyrics from this or something I just made up.
Okay. I hope I'm not bad at it.
The stuff that, well, hope not either, because everybody's gotten 100% so far. But the words that, no pressure.
Pressure's on.
So here's the first one. Well, I will say that the stuff that I did make up, I like Weird Al it. So I just like, it would be sung the same way. I just changed the words. Okay.
Okay. Gotcha.
So here's the first one. It's what we used to dream about. Think twice before you poo-poo it.
That's real.
That's real.
That's real. Yeah.
It is real. Yeah. That's from You'll See.
You'll see, boys. Yeah, it's Benny.
I just love that he says poo-poo it. It just flows really weirdly.
It does.
All right. Okay, here's the next one. I've got to get out of here. It's like I'm being tied to the hood of a yellow rental truck, being packed in with fertilizer and fuel oil.
I'm hearing that in my head. Can you say it one more time?
I've got to get out of here. It's like I'm being tied to the hood of a yellow rental truck, being packed in with fertilizer and fuel oil.
Oh, if it is from Rent, it's from Over the Moon. I'm gonna say yes, it's from Over the Moon.
It is, yeah.
Okay.
It is from Over the Moon.
Okay.
All right. Here's the next one. It's the things you think and the words you remember, breaking those bonds and rising beyond.
I don't think that's from Rent.
You are correct. I made that
Yes.
up. I did fake it from Seasons of
Okay, I
Love.
figured that it was.
The real lyrics are in truths that she learned, or in times that he cried, in bridges he burned, or the way that she
Nice.
died. All right, here's the next one.
Okay.
A rabbit on the loose is just more prey. A lion on the hunt, you know I'm taking it all.
Rabbit on the loose is just more prey. A lion on the hunt.
A rabbit on the loose is just more prey. A lion on the hunt, you know I'm taking it all.
I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna be.
Becca, what do you think on that one?
It's not ringing a bell. I'm gonna say no.
This is like a bonus track.
All right, yeah. No, I made that one up. But I copied
okay.
it from
I was scared there.
Take
Like,
Me or
stop.
Leave Me. The real lyrics were a tiger in a cage can never see the sun. The diva that needs her stage, baby, let's have fun.
Okay. Yeah.
All right, here's the last one. So that's 5 miso soup, 4 seaweed salad, 3 soy burger dinner, 2 tofu dog platter.
Love you, Bowen. Love you, Bowen.
Is it?
Oh, but wait. Say it again.
No.
So that's 5 miso soup, 4 seaweed salad, 3 soy burger dinner, 2 tofu dog platter.
He changed it up, I think.
Does it go a different? Hold on.
Y'all know what song it's from if it's there.
Yeah. I mean, I know that part, but
When they're ordering, but I think
Yeah.
he's added things. But I don't know, Brooke.
5 miso soup.
4 seaweed salad, 3 soy burger dinner, 2 tofu dog platter.
I don't remember the tofu dog platter.
Yeah, there's something about tofu dog. Tastes like meat. If you close your eyes. I'm gonna say that it's right. I'm gonna say it's right. Possibly you switched up the order.
It is,
It's right.
No, it is right.
It
It
is
is
right.
right. It is correct. Yeah, yeah.
Hey, I'm glad
I
you didn't listen
didn't.
to
I
me.
didn't change anything.
Okay.
I was.
Whew, Becca, you scared me. 2 tofu.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want an honorary. I
You
don't
won
know
a
what you
car.
win. There's no reward. You want a brand new car.
Oh my god! I gotta call my mom. My mom would not care, by the way.
Okay, well,
Like, Mom, I got every
She'd be
lyric
like-
on Rent right. She'd be like, why are you calling me?
Go to sleep. Okay, so do you have a favorite line that you would like to sing or hum?
Oh
Or-
man, I feel like I've already been singing. A favorite, like one favorite. Oh no.
Mhm. Oh, gotta make you pick.
Oh no. Well, I will say, y'all know when I did my like 10-day freaking silent meditation thing.
Mhm.
Mhm.
For those whole 10 days, I was just singing Light My Candle over and over and over again in my head, pretty much. That and Aaron's Party, come get it. Aaron Carter. But so it's got to be something from that because that is one of my favorites. Am I making this too hard?
No, no.
Are you sure?
Well, while you're thinking, I will tell you what my favorite line was.
Okay.
My favorite line was at the end of Santa Fe where he says, "Prairie dogs."
Oh. Just the prairie
Do you have a favorite line, Becca? Just the prairie dogs part.
I can't remember. It was when it's at the very beginning. I just like how he says it. He's like when he's talking about their studio and like, you know, he's like, you gonna let people piss on your stoop. You know what I'm talking about?
Or do you really
Oh,
wanna
yeah.
live? Something like that. Where people
Yeah.
piss on your stoop every night.
Yeah.
Bohemia,
Yeah.
Bohemia.
My favorite. I just love the way he says it.
Yeah, that's a good one too. I really like when it's at the end of Light My Candle, and they lose the candle, and Roger says, "That was my last match. Our eyes will adjust. Thank God for the moon. Maybe it's not the moon at all. I hear Spike Lee shooting down the street. Bah humbug." Yeah, I like bah humbug a lot.
The bah humbug part.
Yeah,
Woo.
every time I hear that, I'm like, I should say that to people, like when they're being drunk. Or maybe I should sing.
Bah humbug.
Bah humbug. Hold me to that.
How does Another Day go? I love it when they're all yelling at each other. It's like, wait.
Who do
You think you are?
Barging
in on me, my guitar.
Little girl,
hey, the door's that way. He's so dramatic.
So dramatic.
Yes,
Oh
so
my
dramatic.
God.
He's like, what was he doing with his guitar that he was just embarrassed about? Is he like laying in the couch naked with it? Oh, Mom.
His friends are like,
busy,
calm
you know.
down.
Roger, jeez.
He gets on the roof just like screaming.
They're like, she just has a crush on you. Like, it's fine, man.
Yeah, stop freaking out, dude. It's okay.
Oh man. He's a little gross,
All right,
but I like it.
a little bit. That's why he's in a musical.
Exactly.
You gotta have a little
True.
something. You gotta have a little
That's
extra in you to be
honestly
a character.
why I like musicals is because I gotta have somewhere to put my extra.
Right? It'd be so dramatic in musicals, like
You'd be... Oh man. Oh, is there a character in a musical you would love to be? Maybe not to play, but just wish to be.
Mhm.
Who do you got?
I would say Mimi, except for
Mm.
the whole drug situation. But maybe I would learn a lot from that. So, but I do want to be a dancer at the Cat Scratch Club. And we're happy
yeah.
with that.
She mentions the Cat Scratch Club. Like, this guy does not have any money, and I've been to a strip club with no money. It's not fun. Like, why would you do that? Why would you go to a strip club with no money?
Maybe that's why he doesn't.
But
have
he
any
seemed to
money.
know who she was. So. All right. Aside from musicals and Rent, what's on your repeat right now? What else are you listening to?
A lot of Dolly Parton. Been in a real Dolly Parton kind of a phase lately, and a lot of Lil Dicky as well. Kind of go in between those two.
Interesting.
That's an extreme. Yeah.
I have any person who looks at my Spotify is like, you have a very interesting taste in music. Like, thank you. Thanks.
When new music comes out, do you buy it or do you just stream it?
I stream. I'm like pretty much Spotify only at this point. A little bit of YouTube here and there. Okay, my recently played is Rent, TLC's Crazy Sexy Cool, ODB, your podcast, and Houston's So Emotional Radio. So that's what I've been jamming.
So emotional. Cool.
So emotional, baby. I pretty much listen to music from like a time that I wasn't even in the world yet. It's kind of where I'm at. I'm bad at new music. Like literally anytime I'm around young people and they're talking about music, I'm like, what'd you say? Can I get you a tissue? Did you sneeze?
Yeah.
I've never heard of that. So have you guys heard of Dolly Parton or 9 to 5? Okay.
Maybe.
Working 9 to 5.
Well, that was it.
Okay.
That was all of it.
I feel like I'm gonna go watch Rent.
That's a good idea.
All right. Well, thanks for coming on, Brooke.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It's
Yeah.
good to see you guys.
Yeah.
Been
Yes.
too long.
Definitely.
I miss you guys. All right. I'm gonna go watch Rent now, I think.
Okay,
I'm
me
like
too.
really in the mood.
Me too.
Cry.
All right. All right. Well,
Lord.
y'all have a good night then. Thank you.
Yeah, you
Bye.
too. Bye.
Bye. So please check us out every other Monday and follow along on Facebook at Wax Poetic Podcast and also on Instagram at Wax Poetic Podcast and of course on Twitter at Wax Poetic Pod.
I went to a strip club with our buddy Mike, our mutual friend, and he handed me one and to give to the stripper, and I didn't want like her to feel like she had to dance, so I just like laid them gently near the pole and I just like walked away. I was wearing a big Christmas sweater with a cow on it too. I was just like, thank you for your service, and then I walked away.
Thank you for your service.
Oh wow.
It was like, she's supposed to dance on you. I was like, I don't want her to dance on me. She doesn't have to. She can do her thing. Like, she doesn't have to do anything. She deserves $10 for just standing up there. I'd slip right off that pole if I even just like grabbed it, you know what I'm saying? Break an ankle. We talked about doing pole dance classes together. We never did it.
I'm doing a intro to pole series right now. It's an 8-week.
You are?
Mm-hmm, at Brass Ovaries.
Like, you grab your own pole and it's online, or are you doing it in person?
It's there, yeah. We wear masks and stuff. And it's so hard. Like, it's so hard. It's unbelievable how hard it is. Okay.
I gotta find one. I want to find a pole dancing class.
It's really fun, but like we have to climb the pole. That's like one of the things we have to test out of. Mm-hmm. And like, I finally got it this last week. It's like week 5. But it's like you have to have an insane upper body strength that I don't really have.
I know, like when you watch them do it, you're like, this is easy.
Easy.
But then like I can't even get an inch off the ground, let alone flip my body up with my butt in the air.
Oh my god.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. I can't even imagine trying to look sexy while I'm doing it.
Yeah.
My face is like straining.
I'd probably be like biting my lip, like trying to figure it out.
Deadlift face.
I'd yell, I'm like, damn it! Like, so aggressive. Wouldn't be good at all. I'd love to try that out as an experiment. How funny would that be? Like for a reality TV show, like put people who haven't practiced like dancing or pole dancing in a strip club. Do a routine. I would
just keep having do-overs. Like, wait, let me do it again.
Can you start the track over?
Hold up, yeah. Start the track over. Bring the lights up. The guys are like.
No, I did it at home
with your Christmas sweater on, though.
Yeah, it's not even a sexy outfit. It's like sweatpants. My hair is in a bun. No makeup on. I'm real sweaty. Like, anyone got a bottle of water? Like. You do rehydrate.
I'm not feeling too hot.
I'd pass out.
I would pay to see that.
Guy.
Is this your protest piece that we're talking about?
Yeah, it is. Damn it. Gave it away.
There it is.
I got too excited.